Hey everyone, welcome to Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
And I'm Robbie.
And even though my name appears third in the queue, I'm Matt.
Yeah, so...
Oh, like anybody sees that.
Oh, yeah. No one sees the queue. My name is Boba Fett, White Ranger in the queue. No one sees it.
Yeah, so... Well, Major, speaking of Boba Fett, did everyone watch Boba Fett this week?
Dude, I ate it up twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went online and was completely surprised at people's different reactions. And then the first thing I did was I got to text Matt to see how triggered he's going to get from this.
Was there like all the hardcore fans not liking certain things?
Well, it's not like the hardcore fans. I think it was just strange how the Wookiee had
let's set some things up front. All right. Yeah. Black KrrSantaClaus. That's too much. We're going to call him
KrrSantaClaus.
We're going to call
Black
him
K.
We're going to call him BK.
Okay, BK.
Yeah.
So Burger King tried to murder Boba Fett while he was aslead, but instead of just like shooting him or stabbing him while he was asleep, he kind of just like woke him up, grabbed him by the throat, and pulled him out. So and basically started yelling to wake up everyone in the palace.
My first thought, I mean, we're definitely getting ahead of ourselves here, but my first thought was like, oh my god, did BK just kill everyone like on the first floor? But no, it turns out this Wookiee is super sneaky.
Yes.
Well, then not so sneaky.
But no. It makes sense though. One, it's the honorable thing to do, but two, he's letting him know who sent him before he dies. You know what I mean?
Like,
because
we're killing you because you overstepped your boundary.
Yeah.
So
it was kind of strange that like they just showed up right after the failed assassination. Like, oh, sorry about that. We're gonna go.
Oh, and actually,
we're cool, right?
This is a gift. Yeah, I know I sent that room, but to kill you, but I actually want you to keep it now.
I should have killed you with this gift. So,
but let's talk about the flashback before we get into the big gift that you received this episode.
The gift of friendship.
That's what we get along the way. I'm talking about the gift of a motherfucking Rancor.
Oh yeah, the one from Bad Batch.
Danny Trejo. No, I do not believe that was the one from Bad Batch.
You know, really quick, throughout this whole episode, I was getting this huge Robert Rodriguez vibe without looking to see who actually did it. And then I saw Danny Trejo, and I'm like, yeah, definitely Robert Rodriguez.
He directed the first episode too. Yep. Yeah. So hopefully Antonio Banderas will play a Sith Lord.
So Boba Fett starts out on a bantha, and he's going to see the Pikes, right?
Yep.
And so this is what I understand. I can look past a lot of things because one, I have to enjoy the series, or otherwise it just all breaks down on a fundamental level. But they just had an epic train robbery last episode, and he told the Pikes, "You're gonna pay me. You're gonna pay the Tusken Raiders for protection money now, right? You're gonna give us a tax, a tariff, whatever you want to call it." And then he goes to collect the tariff at the beginning, or the tax at the beginning of this episode. And that Pike guy's like, "Oh, sorry, we already gave it to the local biker gang." I would have been like, "Tough shit, that's not my problem."
Yeah.
You made it with me. I don't know why you talked to them. And then, so I feel like there's like a lot of pitting against each other here. Like the easiest thing to do is to just like let your enemies take each other out and then just come in and take over that territory.
Yeah, do you think the Pikes killed the Tusken Raiders?
It's the gang. They basically
they
said the same thing.
They paid the gang to go kill the Tusken Raiders.
Sons of Sandarchy?
No, not even that they paid. They just said the same thing to the gang, and the gang's like, okay, well, we'll kill the Tuskens. But the other thing too is, I forgot the point I was just gonna make. They had just been attacked by the Tuskens and are really upset about wasting the water and all the things they lost. Yeah. So I feel like the Pikes made the offer to the gang first, saying, "Hey, you kill them, we pay you," and then we're never going to make that offer to the Tusken Raiders until Boba showed up. You know?
Yeah, until you guys actually already did something.
I don't know.
Until you guys became annoying.
Yeah, I have to say that the Pike Syndicate's probably the least intimidating villains I've ever seen in the Star Wars universe, because they were supposed to come down like all badass like in the at the end of the episode, but I had like no emotional reaction.
Oh, off like the dropship, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, these are like the least intimidating. They have like, they're basically like fish faced.
They're land fish. They're land fish.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they're trying to make
why
him
they need
come
all
off as
that water.
scary. So yeah, it's supposed to emulate the Attack of the Clones scene when the clones are coming down off the ship, but it was just like a very lame version of that. So
Yeah.
I hope they're not the main villains for this season. I hope like the Hutts come back in some shape or form.
What if it's Emperor Palpatine? Would you take that?
I'd be like, okay, start.
Or would you throw a TV? Would you throw your TV out of the window?
I'd be like, okay, Jon Favreau, you're fired.
Do you know that GIF I send of Michelangelo like slowly vibrating and it says triggered? That would be my reaction.
Yeah.
If I heard Emperor Palpatine. But I think the Hutts will make another appearance because basically they said, Boba and Fennec were talking about, why should the Hutts fight over this when the Pikes and them can fight over it, and then they just come in and take out whoever is left.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what they're doing. Why else would you give them a Rancor? And he's like, we think, we're leaving Tatooine, and we think you should do the same. Yep. But we're also going to give you this badass, Rancor for your Rancor cave. Right? Like, they know he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I think there's some shenanigans going on here, but I think the Hutts are trying to arm Boba Fett to take out as many Pikes as they can.
But I will say this really briefly too. I wasn't here last week for the podcast, but one of my biggest pet peeves of the first episode was if Jabba's out, this is still Hutt space. The Hutts would just come in and take over. So I was really upset about that in the first episode. And I was really
what happened to Bib Fortuna?
Yeah.
Why didn't they do anything while Bib was in charge?
Yeah, I want to know what happened with Bib too. But so in the second episode, when the Hutts show up, I'm like, okay, at least we have some continuity with the expanded universe. And there was a few expanded universe drops too when he gets to the Rancor about the witches in Dathomir. That's a whole book with Han Solo and.
Just learning more about the Rancor, learning why that guy from The Empire Strikes Back, why he cried, why did the Rancor? Because that was a meme. Everyone made fun of that guy for years, and then you've got this amazing little, not sub story. But you got Danny Trejo coming in and explaining the Rancor. His acting is just phenomenal. I think.
Yeah.
The Rancor's acting?
No, the Rancor trainer.
Okay.
Yeah, the Rancor. Man, he just sleep there.
What else was he in? I recognize
Danny Trejo. Oh, he's Machete.
He's in
multiple.
He's every Robert Rodriguez movie, basically.
Yeah,
except for Sin City.
Let's have a quick tangent, and everyone go around the block and tell me your favorite Danny Trejo moment. Mine is from I think Machete 2, when he cuts open a guy, grabs his large intestine, runs out a window. Oh, is that Machete 1? Yeah. Jumps out of a window and uses the large intestine to grapple and swing himself down to the floor below him.
And I know it's Machete 1 because that's the only one I saw.
Okay.
So
I don't think I've even seen that.
Desperado, and it's the scene after they have just killed him, and the crime boss is on the phone with his boss, and they're describing what he looks like, and they're pulling out the knives, and they're showing the tattoo. And he's like, yeah, I'll keep an eye out for him. Just a very funny scene in a very shoot-'em-up movie.
Nice.
And wasn't he the voice of Jaguar in the Pickle Rick episode? Take me to this pickle, or something like that.
Oh,
was that Danny Trejo?
Yeah, the Jaguar.
Nice.
Where is this pickle?
Jaguar? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, I guess that was my favorite.
Villain with a giant piano or whatever?
Oh, I don't know.
God, that was such a good episode.
Well, it was at the very end, and then Jaguar, and he's like, "Who was that?" Rick's like, "That is why you don't go to therapy, Morty." So,
well, we're stuck on a tangent about strange cameos or awesome cameos in this episode.
Yeah.
Office Space.
I love Stephen Root.
Yeah.
Stephen Root. I always see him as Bill Dotree whenever he does live because he's done a ton of voiceovers for animations, and just having him be the main character to set up the intro plot to introduce the cyberpunk gang there was just hilarious. I love that actor.
I am insulted on your behalf, right? He seems like he's he's trying to be manipulative. Matt fucked with his stapler, so he's trying to get majored.
Well, he's Milton from Office Space. That's probably the most famous live action.
That's what makes me think about
it. But yeah, he is the voice of Bill from King of the Hill.
Bill Dotree, yep.
Bill likes Peggy, but Peggy don't like him. Or Peggy don't like Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Was he in Breaking Bad?
No, I don't think he was. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking on Google and it shows
he was like
Breaking
in an
Bad.
episode.
I'm trying to think of where he was.
He might have been like one episode, but I don't think it was like a notable one. He's been like in everything. He's like been like in every HBO show.
A lot of side characters.
Like he was on.
He does a lot of.
He was on Barry, True Blood. He's like in a lot of Coen Brothers movies.
By the way, Euphoria season 2 is pretty good so far, surprisingly.
Euphoria, is that a sci-fi show?
No, it's
an HBO. Yeah,
it's HBO Max. It's like
with Zendaya.
Yeah, the teenagers.
Or Zendaya
doing a bunch of drugs.
So,
what else is new?
To get back to Stephen Root, though, I think overall this episode is 50-50 for me.
What's the root of the problem?
The problem I have is the gang. It looks like people saw that the Cyberpunk video game was really popular, and so let's make characters like that.
Supposed to be popular.
And let's make characters like that, and those characters look straight out of that video game. That's my first problem. And the second, the car chase scene is one of the most comically bad car chase scenes in any TV show I've ever seen. I mean, we've seen land speeders go so fast in Return of the Jedi, and these ones are like, eh.
They used the entire budget on the train sequence.
What about
they had nothing for the?
What about Count Dooku in Attack of the Clones when he's driving away? Ryan from Screen Rant Pitch Meeting described it best. Looks like someone lost control of one of their electronic shopping carts at Walmart.
Yeah. Well, it definitely was a weak part of the episode, and they were
overall I liked
helpful.
It. Like when he was walking down to go meet this gang, and it was just like him, Phoenix Shan, and like the two green guys. I was like, damn, he does not have enough people. He needs more people. And then he found out about the problem, and instead of like killing them, like offered them a job. I was like, dude, fucking Boba Fett 2024, baby. Stimulating the economy over here, putting people back to work. They were really built up. Like, the Stephen Root, his character made him sound all like crazy and badass, where I really thought they were just kind of pathetic to the point where like a blaster would have been more effective than any of those guys.
Yep.
But I think if you make them more powerful, you can make BK more powerful and therefore make that fight better.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think overall what I really appreciated about this episode is it's essentially an episode full of exposition dumps. But it does it in a manner that keeps you like involved, unlike once again Winter Soldier and Falcon guy, wherever. Like the exposition dumps include the action in it, you know what I mean? And even his like flashbacks, like you're still interested in essentially what is just an exposition dump.
How do y'all feel about? Well, I have a theory that next episode, since the Tusken Raider flashback arc is over, he's going to go off planet or something.
That's
do you think?
Good question, because like when I went online, the biggest complaint seems to be from people, these high-minded aristocrats, is that they don't understand or they don't know what Boba Fett's purpose is. And touche, that's a really good point. Like looking back on it, why does he want to be this Dohei, the Arigato? Yeah.
Daimyo.
Why does he want to be the Domi Arigato of Maz?
Why does he want to be the Domino's Pizza of
yeah. Why does he want to be the why does he want to be Pizza the Hut of
Tatooine or whatever, or Mos Eisley?
Mos Espa.
Yeah, but I'm also trying to
Donnie Mos Espa.
Mos Carto Martis.
Corto Marti. Oh God.
So you see, anyway, the reason they're just not nailing it at all.
The reason
I'm going to move on. But yeah, so what are his motivations? Why does he want to be in charge of this? Like, why does he want to be a crime lord?
I don't know. Maybe just he feels he's entitled.
Somewhere. Yeah, I got this feeling that he's entitled because he served under Jabba the Hutt, and ultimately he almost dies because of Jabba.
Did he kill Bib?
He doesn't want to.
Did someone else kill Bib, or did he kill Bib?
I'm getting the idea that he killed Bib.
It sounded like Bib was assassinated.
I thought he killed him at the end of Mandalorian season 2, or at least Fennec Shand did.
We saw a really fat Fortuna. Bib fat tuna.
Okay, well, the reason I brought up if I think he's going to go off world is because he just did an interview this week where he said they've renamed Slave 1 to something else.
Something more appropriate.
I guess so.
Clone 1.
Clone 1. Overworked Employee 1.
Starbucks employee. Amazon Shipping 1.
Animator 1. Disney Employee 1. So, I don't know. Or Disney World Employee 1. So anyway, but I have a feeling, obviously the ship's going to show up in some shape or form. I just figure if it's going to show up, it's going to be to go off-world something. And that might be in a flashback. But, because he apparently had the ship during Mandalorian, so I think he had it somewhere. I don't know, maybe he got kidnapped by the... We don't know how he got the ship back, because he was left for dead. He was living with the Tuskens for a long, indeterminate amount of time.
It's going to be just like my favorite film in the Star Wars series, the first sequel, in which the Millennium Falcon's been flying there, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody forgot about it for no reason whatsoever.
This legendary ship over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just
which happened to be on not Tatooine, which was on not Tatooine.
Not
Tatooine.
Yo, all right. So speaking of not Tatooine, but talking about Tatooine, this is the second episode in a row that some character in the story and in the episode has been cut off while they're trying to describe Tatooine as a wet ass planet. Yeah. I like to call it WAP, a wet ass planet. Do you think that has anything to do with the show? Like, are they just hinting at the fact that Tatooine, like in Legend lore, used to be a water planet, now it's a dry planet, and no one knows why? And like, is that what they're hinting at, or do you think they just keep trying to like create? Are they trying to build curiosity where curiosity didn't exist for the average fan to reveal why that happened later on in the season?
Well, I don't know. It's like basically every desert used to be like an ocean,
right?
Well, I think it's going to be like a surprise at the end of this season, because like even if you like look on Wikipedia, mm-hmm. or like read the books, no one really knows why the seas disappeared.
Yeah, so like I can see Dave Filoni,
global warming.
I can see Dave Filoni being like this is my toy box, right? I'm bringing out my Rancor, right? I'm bringing out my twin huts. I'm bringing out all the things like I've ever wanted to do, and I'm gonna fucking explain why like Tatooine's like a desert now.
But
obviously,
but no one cares about that. So what I need to do is start building up this curiosity in earlier episodes to make them
obviously
curious.
They're setting up for another spin-off series called Legends of
Shan.
Knights of Old Tatooine, which is going to take place 2,000 years before Boba Fett, and we're going to find out what happened to the oceans, because they literally just announced like Bo-Katan's going to run spin-off series.
Really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
We're gonna have 3 Mandalorian shows.
Actually, I don't hate that at all, depending on the timeline.
We're getting like Ashoka, and we're getting whatever the Acolyte's going to be. I think it might be Dr. Aphra show.
I would kill for a Dr. Aphra show. Who would star in it? Jessica Chastain?
The Bo-Katan?
No. Dr. Aphra.
Oh, I think they should probably get. We lose Matt. I think they should probably. I don't know who's like really popular right now.
Zendaya.
Yeah, they might get Zendaya. She's already like good with Disney because.
Who did?
But yeah, back with
Tomb Raider. Who did Tomb Raider?
Angelina. No,
that's who
I think probably Disney. Well, no, she's already in Star Wars. Anyway.
I know she's Rey Skywalker. God, I hate that ending.
Yeah.
Back with that, they were.
I think even J.J. Abrams had that ending.
They lost all their water. Like, what if it was like your fish people? What are they called again?
The Pikes.
Yeah, the Pikes. What if they? Because they need lots of water. What if they slowly drained it over time? And now they're just used to being there.
Yo, get this guy in the writer's room. I like what you're thinking, Rob. That's a really good idea. That's clever. I like that a lot.
No, it was the Spongians. They soaked up all the water.
Boo.
The Spongian Empire.
Forrest, you are Dune.
Dune.
Yeah, you were Dune with that.
Oh, what do you know? Tips.
We lost Matt, but we gained the tip. Matt's not back. Just for the
yo.
It's just a tip, guys.
Tip. Did you watch?
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. Did you
we
get
can
power
hear
back?
you.
No, my power is totally out, dude. It's a total white out. And a little bit of a yellow out because I've been adding some yellow.
We got it. As soon as you said yellow.
So,
a little bit of yellow.
Tip, what did you think of Boba Fett? Did you watch it?
I watched.
Or did you lose power? Did you watch Peacemaker?
I didn't get to Peacemaker because I didn't get to it because we lost power, but otherwise I probably would have watched it. But I did watch Boba Fett 1 and 2.
Oh, great, we're on episode 3 now.
Yeah.
Shit.
Little behind.
Don't worry. You can spoil it for me. I really don't.
What did you think of episode 1 and 2? Were you happy?
We went through a lot of it.
Okay, Matt's back.
Sorry, my internet keeps going down, so
we lost a Matt, but we gained.
Would you like to plug your terrible internet provider?
You know, honestly, Boba Fett had the same quality as Mandalorian. It's worth a watch. I would definitely spend the money to subscribe to Disney Plus if I had the money to spare.
10 out of 10 tips would watch.
Well, Tip,
definitely I feel it with ESPN.
I don't really have a whole lot of money to spare at this point because of unexpected expenses and whatnot. But
yeah, that's no problem.
What did you think of the Hutt twins?
Honestly, I think they should have been assassinated right there on the spot.
Yes.
As an instinctual reaction, Boba Fett should have just been like, boom, 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 boom.
Right,
just kill.
I was saying.
I was saying
those.
Why did he not?
Right.
He could have just.
Do you
Look,
remember
he's power
when-
hungry.
No.
He is a sociopathic, power hungry mother
Right,
effer,
so
and he should have
first
just killed. He should have just killed.
No, dear God, Fennec Shand purposely says, you have to ask for permission to get them killed. It's like in the Goodfellas when you're made, right? This is Hutt Space. Hutt Space covers hundreds of planets and systems.
Space,
all right, so Tatooine is part of it. If they kill the twins, then Tatooine doesn't exist anymore. All the power of Hutt Space is coming down on that planet.
Well, it turns out
there was nothing they could do. The Hutts were made. He just had to sit there and
Hutt
take
Space.
it.
Yeah, exactly. The Hutts were made.
So yeah, they had to cut their finger and burn a picture of Bib Fortuna when they got made at their ceremony. But I don't know. I guess I have a feeling the twins are going to come back and next. There's 7 or 8 episodes this season.
Is it only 6 or is it 8?
I think it's 7. 6. I think Peacemaker might be 8. Boba Fett might be 7. So I have a feeling they're going to come.
As a side note, it's really sad that The Expanse was only 6 episodes this season for its final season.
What?
Yeah,
That's it?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
Yeah.
So I unfortunately was not able to watch the end of that, but that was one of the best shows I've ever seen. So.
Yeah, that show. I can't wait to talk about it. I do have some wrap-up questions for Matt.
IMDb has Book of Boba Fett at 7 episodes.
Oh, 7
okay.
episodes? Okay.
Nice. So they'll probably come back in episode 6.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
It'll be
it's Disney, so the penultimate episode will always.
Yes. And there'll be a big Matrix fight between Boba Fett and the twins.
No, Matrix 1, not Matrix 4.
All right, Major, what is your follow-up questions there?
So I know the internet, and I know a lot of hardcore fans who grew up without tons of Star Wars content, like a lot of our younger listeners. So they had to use their imagination, and Boba Fett was the most badass bounty hunter in the fucking galaxy. How do you feel about watching him being a big old softy with saving the cat situation with the Ragnarok?
First, I will say Boba Fett has always been one of my biggest pet peeves. For somebody that has 3 minutes and 23 seconds of airtime and only 27 words said in the whole, original set of movies, I never got the love behind it.
But no disintegration. That's such a good line. What the fuck happened? That's the movie I want to see. Forget Rogue One. Forget Solo. I want to see Star Wars, a story, no disintegration, and I want to see that fucking story.
So back in the day too, when the internet is first coming along, and you had the forums you could go on to, people would make their own backstories for characters. Mm-hmm. In fact, in Empire Strikes Back, when the Cloud City Bespin is being, taken over, there's people running to like get out of there, and this guy's holding what looks to be like an ice cream maker. And fans wrote a whole backstory for him about that's actually secret, hidden data that they didn't want the Empire to get, and he's really holding these secret files to save the rebellion. Like,
Rogue
so I get it, and the issue is you hit it right on the head there. Boba Fett was supposed to be badass. Boba Fett was supposed to be, there's a reason why Greedo shoots first, because Han Solo goes by his own rules, and to see Boba Fett kind of turned into this like big old softy, it's kind of
some Peacemaker. I want some. First off,
nice
more
segue.
rockets.
But like the issue is like, you're making it more family friendly.
Yeah.
And that's always been like what George Lucas and Disney has been pushing, the family friendly part of it. And it's like, there's part of Star Wars that's not supposed to be family friendly.
See, that's what really saddens me about like when I was watching Peacemaker. I was like, it breaks my heart that we're never going to get content like this from Marvel or Star Wars because they're owned by Disney.
Well, to be fair, Peacemaker wouldn't even kill children. Mm-hmm. So he's a big softy too.
He wouldn't kill children.
He said he'd kill any man, woman, or child.
Yeah, they even said that. Didn't you say that?
Well, he wouldn't kill rich white children.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Well, they weren't even like children anymore. They were like just taken. They were like basically
butterflies.
They're butterflies.
So Major, the problem is first off, capitalism sometimes sucks. All right, because you get this homogenization of everything, the one that appeals to the most amount of fans. Like if they were to do an X-Wing series, that should be rated R. You know what I mean? That should be badass. But they're gonna make it all like jokey, and they're gonna do what Marvel does. Like in serious moments, there's a one-liner.
Just like
on your left,
a little joke in there somewhere.
On your left there, how Marvel does, where for no reason they have that one-liner that's supposed to be funny because it's not supposed to be meant for the scene.
Yeah, it's like, we're about to have a dramatic moment. Quick.
So why would the X-Wing series be rated? Would like Wedge just be torturing a stormtrooper and like one of his lieutenants like this? We should be doing this, Wedge. And he's like, this is war.
Triple X-Wing series.
Oh, there we go. Just like
baby.
That
movie's probably already made.
All the pilots are topless.
Jabba the Hutt licking Princess Leia. That always turned me on.
Princess Leia goes to
Dagobah. Oh God.
And comes out and like, my shirt's all
Princess Leia in the fucking sexy like costume
Leia
that she
does
wears.
Tatooine.
Oh my God.
Oh wow, we've gone.
Jabba the Hutt licks her.
Too far.
What's the 30 Rock? Who's the main character in that, or who's the actress?
Tina Fey.
Liz Lemon? Yeah, Tina Fey. She said like she wore like a Princess Leia costume set one day for like a Halloween episode, and like literally like 30 guys on set just asked her out because there's like it's a very specific fetish guys have.
I think if you want to make it on TikTok, that's all you have to buy.
So she was like, I should not have worn Princess Leia attire ever. So I think Boba Fett. I'm sort of interested to see what happens.
Yep.
What happens next? I'm interested in where the flashbacks go now, which is sort of strange because I cared more about the present than the flashbacks in the first episode. Now it's the reverse.
Oh, see, I'm the reverse. I like the flashbacks more, and now
I like more about the present. Now I care about the present. Well, now I care what's going to happen in the flashbacks. Now that the Tuskens are dead, so I'm wondering if he's going to go off planet with the rogue or slave one or overworked employee one, and because I don't really care about the Pike Syndicate. They're like the least intimidating villains I've ever seen.
Oh, really? Because Jabba's pretty non-intimidating.
Because the black KrrSantaClaus.
You can just run away from Jabba. You could crawl away from Jabba. You could worm away from Jabba.
Yeah, but at least he has more respect than the fish face people.
They have so much power, but by themselves, I don't think they're very powerful.
They're like Yoda. They can move really fast when they need to and do backflips if need be.
There's like a muscular one, but that's like more. I think
Jabba with abs.
Yeah, I think we need to move on, but we can't not talk about episode 3 without talking about how the Power Rangers, aka Boba Fett's new gang, were able to keep their bike so shiny.
Yeah.
Like, did that not just throw everyone off?
Well, they said like water's too expensive.
Mopeds.
They obviously spent too much money on.
Yeah, it's like, oh, water's so
wax
expensive. It's
and
like,
water.
maybe stop cleaning your damn bikes every day. Like, everything is like dirty and sandy and like
They're so
a
shiny.
desert palette tone.
And then there's that
these
one with
shiny ass 4 fucking bikes. And
there's
that's it.
that one that has like all the side mirrors on it.
What is? Yeah, like
I
like,
also.
well,
It's not even that too, but like the actors themselves are like comical to look at. Like I don't buy this. Like they're badass. Like they look.
And you gotta. Yeah.
They look like
the
in
rest
high
of them
school
are dumb.
when the popular kids found some like subculture that became popular, so they like adopted it for 3 months. And they're really like all the cheerleaders and football players, and you fucking hate them. That's what I felt like looking at all those guys.
Guys,
Yeah,
I
and you
really
got-
like
it is
the new
cool
My
how
Chemical
he's-
Romance album.
It is cool how he's just slowly building up his group of people.
Yeah, but you gotta
that work
remember,
for him.
they voluntarily assigned themselves droid parts, and they're complaining about the price of water.
Yep.
So it's like I think their
Well,
priorities.
he
are a
made
little-
the price of water ridiculous. Basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're
is
spending
too
money
high.
for droid
And I do want
implants, and they
to
don't
applaud
need.
this. Great job not being political there, because I mean, it's probably made somewhere else, but you know, most of television is made in Hollywood. And California is going through like a water crisis, and like they're like deregulation of water, so like you can like trade commodities in future contracts and derivatives
And
on
not to
California
mention,
water. So like, great job for them to not take that moment and be super political.
and not to mention, we got like water, too much water on the East Coast, and we have like thousands of miles or hundreds of miles of
Heaven
pipe.
forbid we use a pipeline.
For oil, but we can't do it for water. So, but there's like the states are like, oh, too much red tape, never work.
We'll
We'll
never
get the
work.
oil.
What are we gonna
Um,
do? Like a train?
Hey, it is a lot of red tape.
Yeah, like it's impossible, like to even get like a solar roof for your house in California.
And
No.
Florida. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So, yeah, Boba
roofs
Fett.
here, too.
I have no idea what's gonna happen next. I imagine Black KrrSantaClaus is gonna come back and help Boba Fett.
That's what we should call them.
There's Santa Claus. Love it.
KrrSantaClaus.
CLAWS. KrrSantaClaus.
The Pike Syndicate.
Yeah.
Hopefully, just kills them in the next episode because they're like the least intimidating Star Wars villains I've ever seen.
Cool. I do know that in the comic books for Star Wars, Kirsten and Boba were actually in a. I don't know if they were fighting each other in the slave pits at one point, or were
Fighting together.
fighting different fights but together in a slave. So they've met before in the past.
Like, that's why I called him Gladiator.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
what do you guys think? If you were Boba Fett, like, would you have let BK go? I would have offered him a job.
Yeah,
What
that'd
the
been the
fuck?
smart
Why
thing
would
to
you
do.
not have the first? I'd be like, I'm gonna let you go, but hey, do you want to work for me? Like,
He's
you have no
like-
problem working for them. Come work for me.
He was just like, you're so lucky you have a fan base.
Offered him a job on the spot in front of
On
the
the
house.
spot. Yeah, exactly. And then let me ask you this one more question: watching BK run away, did that totally take you out of the scene?
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
It looked so like
that looked so bad.
anti-Wookiee.
Yeah, like I was like, dude, just cut away, just cut away,
Yeah, it
or
looked
make
so.
him walk away like a badass. Don't make like that looks bad.
All right, not to go there, but it looked like he was an Ewok. All right.
Ooh, it's a low blow calling a Wookiee an Ewok.
Yeah, no, he was an Ewok in a Wookiee costume, running away like a Humad.
Yeah. Well, we better go over Peacemaker since we got like 20 minutes left.
Oh my goodness, 20 minutes. Do we need to do like a whole nother episode on this, or just
Maybe we just go. If
What
we
time
run out of
did we
time,
start?
we can.
All right, let's go around the horn and just say how many pairs of underwear you had to change watching the first 3 episodes of Peacemaker. I think I was at 7. It was so fucking good. 6.9 out of 10.
I actually wasn't crazy about it. I thought it was adequate, but James Gunn's humor, a lot of it's just his jokes are hit or miss. And when they miss, they sometimes have that bad habit of just keeping the joke going as long as possible.
They really miss. I want to
Yeah.
call James Gunn out. I really love him. He's a great like director. But that fight between the butterfly when like in a bra and panties,
Yeah.
she should have been topless. My wife agrees. Like
Oh.
that entire fight should have been topless. That
Well, you
would've
saw
made it-
you
that
saw her
would've made it
topless
better.
earlier in the episode,
Right,
though.
exactly. But that should have been like a 5-minute
Major-
fight.
Remember what year it is, though.
Or
You
if
can't
the
have-
actor
you
even
can't
watched
That's what my
objectify
wife
women
was
that
saying.
much.
She was like, this should have been. She was like, if this went out, if this came out 10 years ago, this like
this
she
isn't
would have been topless.
This isn't My Bloody Valentine where the girl's topless for like a 10-minute scene.
I had to stare at John Cena's dick
and ass
and whitey tighties several times. Right, so like that's I don't have a problem with like the over sexualization of female characters in comic books as long as it's also like the male characters.
I think it was equal. I think we saw him, we saw her exactly. But we saw him in the tidy whities. We saw her in her panties and bra. So, and I guess I don't know. Apparently, she was just like got transported or just wandered into a TARDIS from 1983 and just wandered into 2022.
That was probably
I don't think there's any
the best wig I've ever seen. That hair was amazing.
As a side note too, I actually looked up the album that he's playing, and that is an actual band from England, and that is an actual song. I thought it was a joke song for the show, but it legitimately is a thing.
No, I had a feeling. With it being James Gunn, I had a feeling that those were all like legitimate. Like, it just the whole character is fantastic. Yeah. He's like, oh, I miss like the '80s, like where men were real men because they weren't afraid to be women.
They dressed like women. They weren't afraid to dress like women.
And like just his dad is like John Cena, Peacemaker is almost like a tragic character. Yeah, like when he's crying in bed before Vigilante finds him.
Yeah,
just a phenomenal story. I'll let Forrest kind of narrate this thing.
But really quick, just one last quick point about that scene with the butterfly. Did anybody else get super uncomfortable with how close that marital device was to his lips the whole scene?
No, I thought it was great. Like as soon as I saw that on the table, I was like, he's gonna take that, he's gonna use it as a microphone.
I knew, but I was like, it's just too close, man.
What I'm upset. Well, I'm not upset.
I'm sure she cleans it.
Now that you mention it, I think a big floppy pink dildo would have been funnier.
Yes.
Than a rabbit.
Yeah.
If he was just trying like fighting the microphone the whole time, like as this big dick dildo like flops around, he's just trying to fight it, like keeping it like in front of his face as a microphone.
Especially with how manly he is, like he's not afraid to hold a dildo.
I love it.
Yeah. So I guess the first episode was just like him being. They didn't recruit him yet. Well, they did, but he went to the restaurant, and then
what about the intro?
Oh yeah,
the intro slaps.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
I don't think anyone else could get away with pulling that off.
But the thing is, it's so unexpected. My wife and I were looking at each other, going, "Wait, what are we watching?"
Yeah, I think James Gunn said he wanted to create an opening credit sequence that would eliminate the need to hit the skip intro button.
It worked. I haven't hit the skip intro button yet.
I mean, it should be nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
Just the choreography. My wife was like, I can't believe
intro for a Grammy.
I can't believe you got John Cena to do it. And I was like, oh no, like John Cena seems like a lot of fun to work with. Like when he was dancing and stuff, he seems like a blast.
Yep. Yeah. So I guess what did y'all think of Vigilante?
Vigilante's great. Is that the guy who was doing the butt dance from the Italian restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. Oh my god, he invited the other guy to his abortion. That was so cringe and just amazing. It was so good. But if you don't put two and two together that he is Vigilante, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they didn't show his face in the second episode at all.
Yeah, it was not until the third episode. And then
he
takes his mask off and he keeps fucking moving his face so the guy can pick him out in the lineup. Like this guy is so dumb. It's so good. It's so good.
As a side note, I do know that the actor is replaced after the fourth episode.
Oh,
yes, that's why his face.
They haven't confirmed as to why he left, but yeah, it's a different actor after the fourth episode.
I think creative differences.
This episode, this character Vigilante was it was made for Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yep.
This was Ryan. This character was Ryan Reynolds.
Well, the character is sort of like a deconstruction of Punisher. He's basically DC's Punisher in the comics, but he's obviously based off Deadpool.
When he's talking about when he's talking about killing people, and he's like, if I have to kill a murderer or a rapist or a graffiti artist, it just completely escalates
graffiti artist
so quickly.
Okay, so what's the after credit scene where he's in bed with the woman and
the woman from
Peacemaker, and he's like, eight months ago I would have shot you both.
Yeah, for smoking weed.
For smoking pot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just what a character. And like, I love how he still got his mask on. Like, it's so great. And like, I didn't see it first, but that's the woman. That's the wife from the kidnapped wife from the apartment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just.
I was like, man, she looks familiar, but it was like from.
And then the after credits scene was like, it's this guy. Can I keep this one?
Yeah, she's like, can I keep this photo?
Yeah.
And then her husband's yelling at her from the other room, which is hilarious.
Yeah. What about the little secret?
Not
ship
unusual.
transforms that little ship.
I mean, if we're talking about post-credit scenes,
they were in the
first one.
They were in bed.
This one gives you scabies. Why would I want scabies? Every man should have scabies once in his life.
Challenge yourself.
Challenge yourself.
No, it actually was pretty funny. Like I said, James Gunn when his jokes.
You guys don't have scabies?
Ouch!
Yeah. So, the third after credit scene, like, if you mess up this mission, we're gonna kill your entire family. It's like too late for that, because in the comics, the whole reason he becomes vigilante is because his family gets killed by the mob. So it's interesting though, because in the comics he's a district attorney and not a busboy. So I'm wondering if like they'll touch up on that by the end of the season.
District attorney,
if
for me.
Yeah, well, he's sort of like Punisher meets Daredevil, but without like the blindness. So.
Just because we're short on time, I will say though, overall, I love this series. But what I love most about it is, my wife hadn't seen the Suicide Squad yet, so last Saturday, I forced her to watch it, which she ended up loving, and it was just the segue between that movie
previously on the Suicide Squad.
Exactly, and then
I loved it.
The first episode, and it draws you back into that universe. And this is what's been hurting DC for years now, is like there's no reason to revisit anything because everything gets remade instantly.
Because it's all
but
this is
the first time I've cared about a show after a movie within the DC universe.
Now, who shit their pants when Batmite got dropped?
Oh, like I said, I don't think I changed my underwear as much as you did. But
Batmite? Did you say Batmite?
Batmite is a all-powerful two-dimensional, 2-foot like interdimensional character who is just completely in love with Batman.
Yeah, and you got to remember, if a Batmite burrows under your skin, you get bat scabies.
Yeah, so dealing with that. But anyway,
scabies feels
crazy.
Good.
Like
feels good to
Batmite is one of the wackiest characters in the universe, in like the DC universe. So for them to like just so brazenly like confirm their existence, like if this is maybe they're like, James Gunn, do whatever the fuck you want to, because we're about to erase all this with Flashpoint anyway. But if they don't, I would love to see where the DCEU goes after this.
They should just let James Gunn keep doing what he wants to do. Because
let him. You tried it with Zack Snyder, it didn't work. Try it with James Gunn. But you need a visionary leader. You need a Kevin Feige.
Wait. What about
James Gunn is doing is a big middle finger to Marvel. So,
well, they fired him. I would give a finger to fucking Disney as well.
Yeah, but it wasn't Feige who fired him. It was my only problem with having James Gunn take over DCU is like he seems to take the same approach to most characters. Like he takes traditionally non-funny characters and just makes them funny.
Well, what about Superman? Didn't he hasn't Brightburn?
No, that wasn't him. It wasn't Superman. It was like a rip-off or like a homage, whatever.
Oh my gosh,
Superman.
If an alien boy comes down from in a spacecraft and has Superman's powers, you can just call him Superman.
But he didn't direct that or even write it. I think he just produced it. So it's like,
it was like Mark Gunn and Brian Gunn, the Gunn family. It's produced by James Gunn.
Yeah.
See, we can use their last names.
So, I'm trying to remember what else happened. What do you think of the supporting cast? Like
I thought they were all great. The cops are great, right? The fork and the spoon bit, that was funny. Like, I think.
I hate to say it, but Tasty from Orange Is the New Black is my favorite character.
Who's that?
The new girl.
Adebayo.
Adebayo. She's so good.
Yeah,
she's so good. But the whole thing's great. Hartgrave is a badass.
That's actually James Gunn's real life girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
I did not know that.
So good for him. So I think Yeah, I like the Economos guy. He's pretty funny. So, and the guy, the main guy or the boss, Clemson something. I have a strange feeling he's going to betray the team or something.
Of course.
He's basically the Waller.
What are the butterflies? I loved that line about Project Starfly. So first off, why the fuck wouldn't you tell John Cena? Like, don't pull a Last Jedi and just purposefully not tell characters like important information just to build up.
Because the audience needs to learn it at the same time the main character.
Yeah,
does,
I understand why they did it, and I think they did it pretty well. But like that line about is like Project Butterfly. You guys aren't really creative with your names. Project Starfish was really a giant walking starfish, and then this actually is a fucking.
Am I gonna find a giant Mothra?
Yeah, am I gonna find a giant
Mothra?
Well, it's not a giant Mothra. It's like just smaller.
Well, now
Mothras.
I want a jetpack because you got me all excited.
Yeah.
Then it turns out to be an actual butterfly.
Yeah, so it seems like it's sort of like a version of Starro. So there's like maybe there is a Mothra. That might be the big twist.
Matt,
it would be a twist.
Are you familiar with any butterflies in the comic lore?
No, I'm not. DC
I think James Gunn said in an interview that this isn't based on any pre-existing DC property. It's like based off of a screenplay he wrote when he was like 20, and now he's using it because he wants to. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, James Gunn's definitely a big Cronenberg fan. I don't know if you know Cronenberg, he's like sort of like one of the big body horror.
If you don't know Cronenberg, you at least know Rick and Morty when they Cronenberg.
I mean, the movie, his first movie Slither was like basically just like a funny Cronenberg movie.
Cronenberg did Fly, didn't he, with Jeff Goldblum?
He did Fly. He did like a bunch of them like in the 70s.
But it's basically like gross like by this morning.
Yeah, it's like Videodrome and there's another one.
But it's very good.
Oh, Videodrome? Wait, that was James Gunn?
No, that was Cronenberg.
Oh, I saw a Videodrome in a Clemson library like study room. It was like cubicled off
on your laptop,
and we watched the Videodrome Made Flesh.
James Woods. You've got James Woods. Boop, boop.
And actually, I'm an agent of Videodrome, and all of you and all of the listeners are now involuntarily inducted.
Oh no! That means I have 7 days.
I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah.
Well, unbeknownst to you, Tip, you've been inducted to the Disney Plus Drome, and you will be assimilated too into the Mouse Collective.
Resistance is futile.
This is futile. You will be assimilated.
That's the intro, just like 5 minutes.
All right, so what else did we miss about Peacemaker? We did sort of gloss over all 3 episodes.
I didn't miss an inch of
We'll
his body.
more details next week with episode 4 because we spent way too much time on Boba Fett.
Yeah, has John Cena's face gotten really long? Like I was like rewatching like the scene from Trainwreck that he's in, and his face is much more normal. Like, he looks gaunt here. You can just go on YouTube and watch the scene at the movie theater that he's in. It's really funny.
Maybe your flat screen TV was on its side. Maybe someone moved it to mess with you.
Maybe I had a 9:16 aspect ratio. I fucked up.
So,
Major, don't you have like an insanely wide television?
No, it's just 16:9. It's not like a 23.1 or whatever.
Mine is.
Well, I saw a video of your bedroom.
He has Videodrome.
And it has that. Yeah, it's you through Videodrome.
So, we'll go over, I guess, more of Peacemaker.
Major's like,
too many jokes that I couldn't pick one, so I just
Tip ate way too much yellow snow for coming on the show today. So
he's about to go make some more yellow snow too.
I think we're Peacemaker. I think we're
Peacemaker. I love it.
I think we're just all a little just stir crazy because of the snow, and we're all shut inside. So, Major, want
to if you guys weren't aware, I also went sledding while on the podcast.
Ooh, impressive!
You guys couldn't hear the crunch of snow?
No, but we heard some kids.
We thought
oh yeah, I hear that now.
Oh, Well, you want to plug our? We got a few more minutes. You want to plug our social media?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I do. Please tweet at us. Let us know what you thought about the 3rd episode of Boba Fett and the Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Boba Fett, and let me know. Let us know what you guys thought about the first episode of Peacemaker. Are you guys happy you dropped all 3 at once? I'm so glad. I would not have the same fanfare if this was a weekly. Well, I mean, I know it's gonna be weekly now, but if it was 1, 2, and 3 drop, like
at least got to the butterfly part.
Exactly. Yeah. I think they did a great job dropping 3 there. But let us know what you think at Zealot Podcast on Twitter.
I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
And I'm Robbie.
Matt.
And I'm dead!
As he sleds down the hill.
Bye, everybody.